All right, just trying to figure out what's going on. I guess this is too low. See if this works better. Something's weird here. It's definitely that microphone, but there it goes. It's picking up now a little bit. I got it maxed out. The mic is maxed out. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so about the line item. Okay, looks like it's getting louder. You think about the line item. It's getting louder now. Well, it seems like it is. Think about the line item 4.7 trillion. It's not criminal unless it's criminal. Now, it may be poor accounting practice. It may be even worse than that. But again, things aren't criminal unless they're criminal. You have to point to where there's an issue. Criminal issue for it to be criminal. I mean, it may exist and shouldn't exist, and somebody may be responsible for it. Well, again, I would too, like hype it, but that's hype, right? Until you find it, evidence. Thank you, Larry. So my back like cramped up real bad, so I went and took my $20 Amazon orthotic inserts and put them back on my shoes, and now my back relaxed. I couldn't get it to relax for nothing. So again, I'm gonna have to redesign those things. I told him right away. I told him I think the arch is too low. He said, "Well, we can send them back and have the arch increased." Thank you, Larry. These are like $800. They flopped. No, I couldn't get my back to relax at all. I mean, it was like, well, this stuff can leave as quick as it comes. It's just something irritated my body. Deep state, I guess. No, what I'm saying is, I perceive, again, Tanya Chutkin's going to rule soon. I perceive this isn't going to go the administration's way. Obviously, I said that probably a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. I said to be careful. Well, that's why you don't want to fight with the judges, because you're not going to win anyway. 100%. Because the law is not on your side. But we're not a true democracy. That's why you can't just say I'm elected and I get to do what I want. I guess you all figured because you had the Senate and the House that you were good, but no, not really. I just want to say something. The doctor I have is amazing. You write a message in the app for the hospital, and it takes it. If they ever do get back to you, it's like a few days. I got a message back like an hour later. I'm like, I'm sad, because if I had a doctor like that, I would have known more about my disability, and I would have, physical disability, and I would have been able to take care of it better. Right. But he's the guy. My gosh. Yeah, it was very difficult to get to him, but I got there. I mean, I decided to use him about 2 months ago, and I just couldn't get to the appointment. Couldn't get to it. Nah, nobody's like that. I mean, this dude is just like totally into it. But again, that's what usually happens for me. It's like a day late, a dollar short. But I'm glad he's here. I'm glad I can. And I'm glad other people can use him. You know, it's encouraging. Well, they don't spend any time explaining things to you, right? Just come up with something and make a quick buck, I guess. That's what he said. He says, "You know why?" I said, "You always find somebody to do your back surgery if you want back." Because he doesn't recommend it, but you know, most guys, most anesthesiologists don't. Right? But he says, says, you know, you always find somebody to do your back surgery. You know why? I said, "Why?" He said, "Because it pays well." Right. Said the same thing about some other procedure, oh, the ablation. So he says, you know, we'll give it time. I'll try the epidural and see what that does. I think my epidural was messed up in Amarillo, not Amarillo, Tyler. I think they messed it up. Definitely punctured the sac. And he says it happens about 1% of the time. But he says, you know, the way the anesthesia he uses only lasts like an hour if that happens. Like it'd be intense, but for an hour. That was intense for like 6 hours. It's like crazy. I mean, I was like, I mean, maybe even longer than that. It's just he stayed on the phone with me, which is cool because I'm like, this is weird. I don't. Right. Well, the whole midsection was numb. Like above and below the injection site by like about, I guess, a foot for like hours. I think what happened is my hips got real tight, and I, tried to stretch it, but it didn't want to give. I could have got massage, probably would have worked, but couldn't get to it. So I just hope I can get back to a semblance of order. Like even like when I get surgery, I can hopefully, if I were to get surgery, hopefully I can get, I just want to really focus on being able to present this stuff better, right? Like I did before. Now, I don't. Like I said, I don't think you're going to prevail. I said that from the beginning. It's the law. It's not that difficult. Besides, God helps me with it. So, I mean, maybe you will on a couple of points, but no. When I hear things, and again, psychically, you hear things that are true or false. I mean, it's not always true, but it's saying that they have they're running down. They don't want to present false information. So what they're doing is they're verifying whatever dossier comes in. I mean, there's people probably lying about everybody just to get money, but well, the point is, it's so blatant. Almost anybody could have found it. It's not. I mean, I appreciate what they're doing and everything, but I told you you're going to find stuff. No, I didn't rip off anybody when I was in government. I told you I was like freaked out when I went over budget. I'm like, ah! But actually, for some reason, I doubled it. I don't know how I did that, but when I did my calculations, somehow I doubled. I must have added the amount twice or something. And I got headquarters to free up some funds to pay the overage, but then I called them back and said, "Look, I screwed up the calculations. I don't need the money." I was actually under budget by quite a bit, which I wanted to be. Because I didn't even claim any overtime for that particular assignment. That's why I was confused. Now it doesn't feel like it's going to be a good night. I slept a lot last night, but tonight's not kind of working out. I just don't, it's just very difficult. That's why I said the government should start presenting this pollen sense. Like they did a study on the pollen sense already. It's a 24/7 pollen and allergen sensor. I mean, it does mold, it does dust and dander, trees, but it gives you real time readings, kind of, and but somebody has to test it because I don't know if it's real. Because it'll say that high mold, and then you'll go to AccuWeather or something. It'll say low mold. Right? It'll say low dust and dander, and AccuWeather will say high dust and dander. Right. So for a while, it was tracking with the mold. So I was thinking maybe because of snow, right? Thank you, Larry. Yeah, that's a great doctor. Phenomenal. St. Luke Hospital System. The hospital is like nasty though, only because something's wrong with the air. It may be too dry. I don't know, and of course they keep it dry probably to minimize the risk of infection, I guess. Yeah, but I even got in there and took an arnica bath, arnica and Epsom salt. Didn't seem to do too much. And then I drew, I don't know how loose I am now, but I'm definitely not as cramped as I was. I put my inserts in. I probably should have put my inserts in earlier and walked around and then it loosened my back and then chilled out. It happens every so often when you get older. Your body inflames sometimes. I don't take ibuprofen or anything like that. I don't want to mess up my stomach. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, it could be an allergic response to dust and dander and mold. See, once your body goes into it, then it's hard to come out of it. Right. So, well, I spent last winter outside a lot more. Again, the COVID got me stuck inside. Right. Then I didn't realize I never got rid of the sinus infection. I thought it was the COVID. So I stayed in it like an extra week or two. And I finally figured it out. Extra week, I guess. I'm like, So the doctor's like, yeah, it happens. That sometimes that doesn't go. So I got rid of that. Yeah, it's a rough winter. What can I say? Yeah, I would pay me if I were you. You'd probably go better for all of you. You can't. I'll tell you something, and if God doesn't let you believe it or whatever it goes on, however my information goes this way or that way, God won't, if God's mad, God won't. You'll be like, I'm not doing that, and then you'll find out you should have did it. Boy, I have another Govee. I have a cool humidifier, and it doesn't work either. These things only last a few months. I should have already, warrantied it, but I just didn't feel it because I warrantied the other one. I didn't want to warranty it, but they don't work. Those weird off Chinese companies are the ones that work. I had to turn all my heaters off. It got so freaking hot in here. I don't know how it did that, but it got real warm in here. Maybe the wind slowed down or something. It's only 13 degrees outside. But this week is the last hurrah of this stuff. No, I mean, like your back adjusts, and then there's that adjustment that's too far, and that's the cramp. That's what's happening, I think. He said it could possibly be some arthritis, but he already looked at the image and said he didn't see any in those areas. I think it's just when your back cramps up too much, it needs something. He says we'll wait for the steroid. But at this point, the left feels just too. It's just weird walking right now. It's not. It's very unbalanced. I've been disabled for a while like this. They lie about how disabled I am. Right. Been doing that since the beginning. Look, they're trying to get me to eat. I don't want to eat. I thought Skinny Cow didn't have sugar. It has sugar, Skinny Cow ice cream. Like before all this started, I bought some stuff for my prostate, but I don't want to inflame my body, so I'm not taking it until I get through this. Definitely thinking on me. Definitely trying to push back and ruin my mind. Right. Yeah, I'm a big Jewish king. That's how this works. But of course, they kill real Jewish kings. Look, there's a spirit here who just said, "You look like a rabbi, my friend." No, I like stopped coloring my beard, and I actually trimmed it a certain way. This is all attributable to the deep state. If they hadn't did this to my life, the stress wouldn't be there. Right? Stress will tighten you up and be massaged still, and I'd be still going to massage in Santa Fe. All right, 100%. We killed your healer, Santa Fe. I still think 4 years ago I should have did the surgery. That way, there's trade-offs with it, but that way I would have had 4 kind of normal years of walking, which is very important. And I walk a lot, so. 100%. Well, because the nerve on the left leg is impinged. So it's kind of, doesn't. It's not the same as the right leg. And then sitting there for 4 years like that, I don't know if it's a good idea. But I do notice already though, like because it'll impinge on the right every so often a little bit, not like the left, but just like a little bit, and but it'll lift off the left because my back will adjust and there's no pain, so it isn't like it's residual, right? He said, he told me years ago when we were discussing it, a surgeon. He said as soon as I get that bone up off of that nerve, that it fires right back up again. Right? So at a minimum, I'd be walking much more normal. So I probably should have did it, but again, deep state got control of my mind, and I couldn't break through. Right? I don't know. It's weird because Trump got back in office, and it kind of revolves around that movement. Right? I have no idea what kind of relationship I have with anybody in the world. So, thanks, sir. I've just been duped too many times. I just do my work, for God, and that's about it. Because, I don't know. None of you paid me, which might hurt you in the end. So again, the idea is that you should tone it down because you're not in the election mode. You keep trying to operate in the election mode. And this idea where we should be a true democracy, and it's a protection in the Constitution. It doesn't allow that to happen, right? No, because there's laws and constitutional principles that we have to follow. That's why the judges were thrown in there. They're not elected, but they're appointed by somebody who is. Right. But like, you all know what you actually want to do, so don't make me explain what's going on further. Right. Like, no, I think in Israel, I don't even think the Knesset and Netanyahu can't give land to the judges will shoot it down in Israel. They just can't give land to Trump. Right. Nah, the judges in Israel will shoot it down. They'll say, if they could do it, it'd have to be by popular election. Right. You might even do it 2/3. No. Netanyahu and the Knesset cannot hand over a section of Israel to the United States or Trump or whoever they're gonna sign it over to. Right. Because that's not how government works. Correct. Well, essentially, they say what stops them from turning the whole country over to him or to the United States? Nothing really, then. So again, when you have judges, it's not a true democracy per se, but it's kind of it protects the system. Like, you all want to do stuff, but Biden was stopped from doing stuff by the same judges, right? Right. They're saying that the Supreme Court has been questioning certain things. I don't think they're gonna. Again, I don't think they're gonna allow the upheaval. No, I haven't slept tonight. It's going to be pretty bad tonight, unless I'm walking to see if I can free my back up. No, I think they repented a little bit of what happened on Roe versus Wade because it went so crazy, you know. Right. Again, conservatives have to focus also on the effect of what they're doing, and conservatives generally will structure something so it doesn't cause turmoil beyond a certain point. Now, you know, obviously, when we look at the spirit of the appointment of the office of special counsel, it's not designed for the president just to fire him. Now, the other inspectors general, I don't know. I don't. Agreed there. Achieving psychic. Again, you know, inside there's a think tank. Well, I don't know who's president. I don't know who's even part of it, or how the responses and all that work. But people can actually, God can move people to have some sort of relationship with you, just independent of any real physical relationship. Right. So it's just you discuss it. Like sometimes people don't even know themselves. Like that's why you're supposed to have friends, because they can hear you, right? And then they can tell you something about your life, right? And help you get through things. Look, they're so mad. They keep projecting this bullshit. Like just kill yourself and go back home. They're such assholes. They're just so mad that I actually got back the doctors. They know that they did that. And like I'm taking blood pressure medicine. I mean, they will against it. It's bizarre. Like if you have somebody that can't, or you can't take your medicine, somebody could be willing against it. I do know, like when I was going to Menards, I mean, I had my physical disability, but I don't think I had the inflammation I have. Right? So I don't know the ins and outs of it exactly, but. Wonder how much rain we're going to have. I mean, snow, I mean. Yeah, like a group think, I guess. That's the words that they use. You know, like the younger generation probably has more spiritual terminology in their head because of me. I help raise a lot of kids. God had me proclaim it. We're going to raise your kids. And then we did it. No, I didn't make people gay. You all did. I just explained to them why they are gay. Okay. Okay, there. Hoodoo voodoo. Yeah, conservatives love making people gay, so it's like the down thing, You're less than me because you're gay, that kind of thing. I guess sure. I'm glad to see the peace talks across the world going. So as far as this thing where Palestinian Authority, Hamas, I don't know if that's real. Right? With Hamas going to turn it over to Palestinian Authority, but not a bad idea actually if they're thinking of doing that. But Hamas would have to walk off, And again, certain high value assets wouldn't be safe from Assad. Right? But if they're just an everyday person, I shouldn't. Right? No, because some people are, just kind of stuck in the hype. Clean this up here. It's really weird because sometimes I have to eat something to settle my stomach. Other times it makes me, because I'm still gassy. So if I eat something, now the federal government's very particular about money that was allotted to a specific project. Right? Just like the easiest way to get in trouble in the government is try to change that. Because once Congress allots the money and the president signs, nobody's allowed to mess with that. I mean, they're already allowing a lot of leeway, right, as far as national emergency. Right. Well, corrupt payments is a different thing. Again, you have to prove it. Like, I think we're Tanya Chutkan. I think Judge Chutkan said, I'm not going to, you have to prove what you're saying. I'm not just going to, pencil, what they call it, pencil whip it or rubber stamp it. She's already told the Democratic Party lawyers that, or liberal lawyers, whatever they are. Right. So you have to actually prove that's a criminal payment. Although, I guess you could try to discredit a payment. Right. But again, well, I thought it was just like a straight budget or something. What? There was no, that last budget thing they did. Because that's where it would come from, right? Or is this from years ago and it's just being paid now? Oh, Trump told them not to approve anything but a straight budget, no riders, no extra BS. Right. So all these USAID payments, they're questioning but theoretically would be part of that. I think we're already saving money in this fiscal year before Elon even got in there because of that budgeting in that manner. All right. Thank you, Larry. So it's not just, just say it's not just against the administration. The judges have already, or one of the judges, I think it's Judge Chutkan, said, you got to prove this stuff to me. I can't just, yeah, I see it. It doesn't look good, but you got to present your evidence. Right. So it's the same thing, if you have questions about the USAID payments. Well, for all of you, that seems strange. But it's more about the process than it is the content of the payments. Well, because once it's allotted, they all approved it. Again, remember, we're not a straight democracy. So that's where that comes from. But again, I think Elon confuses a democracy with a king. Right. So what he's really saying is, well, he was elected president, so therefore he's king. And it's not, not viable, even a democracy. Well, there's actually language in the Constitution that could challenge those payments, but also challenge more of what you're all doing. Like the preamble has power. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, I was waiting for like the $500 toilet seat. He already found a few of those. Those kind of overpriced things. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. And from what I can see, I think there's no problem shifting military funding because to civilian contracts, because what you're actually doing is in that process is you're telling the military we need you to fulfill this part of the national emergency. And then they have to decide what is the best way to do it, and that would be civilian contracts. Because again, we don't want to put military people in certain places, so we hire civilian contractors. If we don't have to. It's a very big budget, it looks like. Imitation mock steak tips inside mashed potatoes. That's what I just think. Cook the steak tips first, then throw in instant mashed potatoes, water, and then that's. No, I wasn't having luck falling asleep. I was starting to fall asleep, but I was like, I'd wake up. So I have to kind of wait to see what happens after I eat this. Might settle my stomach. And I took one of those anti-gas Beano things. It could be mold that does that, actually, believe it or not. I might be just fighting an uphill battle, but something could fix it, like eating. Thanks, sir. No, I'm connected to CIA. I'm feeding information to CIA in the background. I just can't tell you what it is because I don't even know what it is yet. That's where the thank yous are coming from. Oh yeah, I need to take one of my Allegras. Yeah, I got off my Allegra, all sorts of stuff that could have caused this. Right. But once the allergy attack triggers, it takes a while to back it back down. If that's why they tell you to start your medicine if you get seasonal allergies, like a month or something, or a couple weeks to a month before the season. Right. But the steroid should, if the steroid shots should back it down. I don't think I'm as bad as I was in Amarillo, but this is as close as it's been ever since then. And I know there was mold in Colorado, like horrible from the snow. I was reading about snow mold today. There's actually such a thing, that the snowstorms cause certain types of mold with certain types of characteristics. When I heal that thing away, it's getting a little too busy. See, once I say something, then they start willing it to be. It's so weird. I put my, like I said, I put my inserts in my shoes, start walking, my back releases. My $20 Amazon inserts. Now they have actually firm ones. Like if you are just like 30 years old and you need inserts, there's firm ones that they sell. Like if you have flat feet or something like that. Right. They're like almost like real podiatrist ones, but they're not quite there. So my doctor had some sort of cold today. I'm like, oh, this is great. It's just the weird part. So I go get out of my car and I grab my keys. My keys are like stuck on this mask, this N95 mask. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to wear that. So I go inside. Everything's cool. I sitting in the room waiting for the doctor. The doctor comes. And he's got a mask on, like a regular mask. And he's like, I got a cold, so I'm going to wear the mask. I'm like, please don't tell me you have the flu. Right. So I came home and took my elderberry airborne stuff. I leave this Govee thing plugged in just to see if it would start up, because before it didn't work, and then I left it plugged in overnight, and then eventually picked up. I mean, it's bubbling. It's just not making any steam. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make any steam. I mean, I'll plug it in the morning. Let me go look at my outside camera. See if it's snowing yet. Yeah, my finger. I had to reorder the case because the fingerprint thing's screwed up. Actually, I probably could have just. I think I just bought it a couple weeks ago. I could have actually. exchanged it. And think about that. Don't see any snow yet. What's going on with the snow stuff? Wait, is that snow? Nope, no snow. It's not gonna be one of those flubby things, is it? Kansas City snow forecast. Trying to figure out this thing here. It's Tuesday morning. South of Kansas, Route 68. Kansas, Route 68. That's south. South of here. Oh. I can turn the heater back on. I turned them all off. It was like way too hot in here. What's it out here? It's still 70 degrees out here. Yeah, these heaters work way better. It's so weird because my back wouldn't release until I put my shoes on. That's so weird. It can't be arthritis, right? No. It's just trying to adjust my back. That's probably what it all is. I probably should have just got that fused 4 years ago. No, my back. I was trying to put stuff on my back to relax. I put my inserts in my shoes, walk around a little bit, and it relaxes. Bizarre. Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I'd be surprised if the pest control guy comes out tomorrow. It's going to be cold too. There's like a high of 5 degrees. Yeah, I doubt he's coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be -7. Woo! But next Tuesday's 50, Monday's 47. So It's like a week. Well, actually, Sunday's 44. That's kind of up there, right? Even Saturday's 35. Really, after Friday. So weird. That's so weird. I mean, I could not, for the life of me, get it to release. I even used the orthotics, the custom $800 orthotics, and they wouldn't do it. I put my cheapies in there, and it worked. Yeah, not all of them are stiff. There's a couple models. I forget what the company's name is on Amazon. Yeah, obviously, I I was in better condition because I used to ride my vehicle around. I can't even tell you how it was. It doesn't make any sense to me what's happening. Maybe I just got too tight again. I don't know. Well, because I used to ride my vehicle all the way up to Kansas City and then over to. So there's no way I was. No way I was that sore. It was awkward walking. I just wasn't as sore. Where the wind chills were really cold. -3 to -13. Yeah, there's no reason for the exterminator to come out tomorrow. 5 degrees, geez. And then 3 to 5 inches. Actually, 4 to 6 inches because an inch tonight. think it might be AccuWeather that does the best forecast. I'm not sure if they'll look. No, it doesn't do it. I forget where I was getting the. We're showing an hourly. Snow heavy at times for at least 60 minutes on the minute cast. We're saying light snow, like currently. You gotta look on my camera. I don't see light snow. Oh, maybe it is starting. No, I don't really see it. Why does it say it's on? I don't know. Oklahoma City, Dustin Dander. All right. That does generally verify. Oh wow! Okay, so they include mold in dust and dander for indoor mold, right? Because there's dust from inside your home, and the outdoors can contain pet hair and dander, mold, spores, dust mites. Oh, so the very high is dust and dander. But why does pollen wise show it's low? I have no idea. They need to standardize allergens, right? Allergy forecasts and stuff. All the Democratic Party people in New York are turning on Mayor Adams for deporting or for assisting with deporting. Bizarre world. New York State is going crazy. That New York state of mind. This is weird how I put those inserts in and just started walking. I'm completely different now. Adams already said he would cooperate with it where he could. I stay peaceful, praise God, and all that you do, praise God.